Please be seated. Good evening, President DeGioia, Mr. Case, Provost Groves, Secretary Quinn, Register Pierce, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2014 commencement exercises of Georgetown University. Marking the 380th year of the Jesuit presence in North America and the 470th year of service to the world. I am David Thomas, and I have the privilege and the pleasure of being the Dean of the McDonough School of Business. Today, we assemble to honor candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. We will begin our ceremony with an invocation delivered by Reverend Bryant Osvig, Director of the Protestant Chaplaincy. Following the invocation, Robert Groves, Provost of the University, will offer welcoming remarks, and Edward M. Quinn, Esquire, Secretary of the University, will read the University Charter. Please stand for the singing of the National Anthem, which will be led by members of the Georgetown University Concert Choir and Chamber Singers under the direction of Professor Frederick Binkholder. Remain standing for the invocation.
Please join me in a spirit of contemplation and prayer. Let us pray. Impulse of all creation, we gather this day to commemorate the days and nights given to the task of knowledge. In this moment of accomplishment, may we be reflective of the striving to which we committed ourselves, and let us always hold on to that impulse. May our minds wander to that greater perspective gained. May our hearts be encouraged to grow in compassion for our world. And may our spirits be broadened in this community of which we have now become a part. Through the commendations presented and the words spoken here, open to us that greater vista of tomorrow that brings hope. Hope for us, hope for our loved ones, and hope most especially for our world. These things we ask you. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Dean Thomas. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here, our graduates in front and the family and friends in the back. As Provost, one of my titles is Chief Academic Officer, and this means I support and lead the faculty and the academic administrators to provide the best education we can to students at Georgetown. So today is a a wonderful day for me personally because we see the fruits of those labors in front of us, and we honor the research and academic achievements of the students here. It's also special to see friends and family, for them to witness together this moment of recognition of scholarly achievement. You know, you, the family and friends, together with the students and together with the fantastic faculty at McDonough School of Business, together we form a group that constitutes our educational community. Nothing of today could happen without us working together, and so we all celebrate our joint accomplishments. It also makes me realize, looking out in front, the trust that you have given to us, that we would care for your students, keep them safe, nurture them, help them form the person that they were meant to be, and we thank you for that trust. To the graduates, you should know that we are very, very, very proud of each and every one of you today, and we join in your joy of today. To my faculty colleagues behind me who've toiled long hours in the job of formation of these students, I salute you all for a job well done. May God bless us all on this glorious day, filled with nostalgia, but also filled with expectations of hope for the future. Thank you for coming.
An act concerning the College of Georgetown in the District of Columbia. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that it shall and may be lawful for such persons as now are, or from time to time may be, the President and Directors of the College of Georgetown within the District of Columbia, to admit any of the students belonging to said college or other persons meriting academical honors to any degree in the faculties, arts, sciences, and liberal professions to which persons are usually admitted in other colleges and universities of the United States, and to issue in an appropriate form the diplomas or certificates which may be requisite to testify to the admission of such degree. Signed, Langdon Shivas, Speaker of the House of Representatives. John Gaillard, President pro tempore of the Senate. Approved March 1st, 1815, James Madison.
It is now my honor to introduce Professor Bill Novelli, Distinguished Professor of the Practice and Director of the Global Social Enterprise Initiative at the McDonough School of Business, who will read the honorary degree citation.
In his recent revolutionary study of success called Give and Take, Adam Grant shows that in business and in life, it's the givers, not the takers, who rise to the very top. And certainly today's honoree proves Professor Grant's claim. Stephen Case has undeniably risen to the very top, and he has been at every stage of his ascent an exemplary giver. He's a model for all of us, and most particularly for those students we graduate today. A graduate of Hawaii's Punahou High School, Stephen Case went on to Williams College, where he received a Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in political science. He then went directly into business, working first for Procter & Gamble and then for PepsiCo. In 1984, he joined Bill Von Meister and Control Video Group as a marketing assistant. In 1985, Control Video Group became Quantum Computer Services. And in 1991, Quantum Computer Services became America Online, or AOL. He would eventually become CEO in 1992. In the decades that followed, Stephen Case has emerged as one of America's best known and most accomplished entrepreneurs and philanthropists, a pioneer in making the internet part of our everyday lives. Under his leadership, membership in AOL grew in 7 years from only 200,000 to 17 million. AOL was the best performing stock of the 1990s, delivering shareholders an 11,616% return. He also presided over the $166 billion merger with Time Warner to form AOL Time Warner, which remains the largest merger in business history. He currently serves as chairman and CEO of Revolution, a Washington, D.C.-based investment firm he co-founded in 2005, partnering with visionary entrepreneurs to build significant, built-to-last businesses. Keeping true to this model, he invested more than $22 million in Sweetgreen, a salad shop, which was co-founded by Georgetown graduates Jonathan Neiman, Nicholas Jamet, and Nathaniel Rue. The funding is enough to expand nationwide and experiment with developing the company culture to create a healthy eating lifestyle brand. In addition to his responsibilities at Revolution, he serves as chair of the Case Foundation, which he founded with his wife, Jean Villanueva Case, in 1997. Over the last 3 years, they have significantly deepened their engagement with the McDonough School of Business. He has spoken to students in our MBA program, and he has served, and she has served, this is Jean Case, has served as executive in residence for our Global Social Enterprise Initiative since 2013. In January, the Case Foundation awarded a $100,000 grant to our initiative to support a range of impact investing initiatives. Stephen Case is also a leading voice in public discourse relating to policy and the regulation of the internet, including bridging the digital divide, making the internet a safe place for children, and nurturing civic engagement. He has served as a member of the State Department's Advisory Committee on Transformational Diplomacy, and also co-chaired the Democracy Project, an initiative of the Bipartisan Policy Center to bring bipartisan and diverse voices together to help enhance the ability of government to grapple with the nation's challenges. In 2011, he was asked by President Obama to be the founding chair of the Startup America Partnership, and also was named to the President's Council on Jobs and Competitiveness. In his own words, Stephen Case has observed the stunning impact a leader can have who combines the right passion and perspective. For his own stunning impact, for his unerringly right passion, and for his exemplary perspective on the intersection of the individual, the political, and the public, today Georgetown University, with admiration and fraternity, confers on Stephen M. Case the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon Mr. Stephen M. Case the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. And it's now my pleasure to present to you Georgetown's newest alumnus, Stephen M. Case, who will deliver the commencement address.
Thank you, President DeGioia. It's great to be with all of you, particularly on this spectacular day. And just out of curiosity, is Jack the Bulldog here? Because I was kind of hoping to meet him. He's really quite the phenomenon now on Twitter, for those who haven't been following the old Jack. It's such an honor to be with all of you today. This is a very special place, and not just because of its history, or its professors, or its tradition of excellence, but because of all of you. You are some of the brightest minds of your generation, and the potential I see in you is what drives my optimism about our future. So I want to first congratulate you on this very exciting day, and second, congratulate your parents for making you, for supporting you, and for putting up with you for all these years. I suspect that today may be bittersweet for many of you. You're delighted to have completed the requirements to graduate, proud to receive your degrees, relieved that you don't have to take another final, and excited about the next chapter in your lives. But at the same time, you may be a little nervous, perhaps even a little scared. You have your diploma, but it's hard to know exactly what your future holds. A half-century ago, most graduates committed to a job and a career and stayed with it their whole lives. But things are different today. Most of you will not only have multiple jobs, you might even have multiple careers. But don't think of it as scary. Think of it as liberating. It means the choices you make now won't necessarily dictate your path for the next 50 years. It means you can be bold, take risks, even fail. The key is to let your life unfold as a series of chapters. So keep learning, be curious, be open, be flexible. And as you think about your journey, I hope you'll keep in mind 3 lessons I learned from my journey, what I like to call the 3 Ps. They are people, passion, and perseverance. The first of the P's is people. No matter what you do in life, your ability to succeed will largely be dependent on your ability to work well with people. This may sound obvious, but I can promise you it isn't easy. Most businesses rise or fall not because of the product, but because of the people. At the end of the day, the team you build is the company you build. And this is more than just business. It's also true in life. You're going to need mentors to guide you, friends to lift you, people who can sweeten your successes and soften your failures with their wisdom and encouragement. Here at Georgetown, you learned and lived the Jesuit tradition. You trained your mind, but hopefully also found your heart and fed your soul. And I'm sure you made many great friends, some of whom will be with you for the rest of your lives. There's an old African proverb I just love. It says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. There's no greater truth in business or life than that. It may seem easier just to do it yourself, but your ultimate success or failure will largely be determined by how you galvanize others to work with you and stand by you. Business and life, just like Hoya basketball, is a team sport. The second P is passion. There are a lot of things each of us is interested in, but few things we are really passionate about. On this front, I got lucky. I became passionate about the internet more than 30 years ago when I was a senior in college. I read a book by a futurist, Alvin Toffler, called The Third Wave, that talked about this concept of people networked together all over the world. And I was mesmerized by it. But at the time, nobody was online. The personal computer hadn't yet been popularized, and the World Wide Web was a decade away from being created. So when I graduated from college, there really weren't any internet companies I could go work for. So I started building skills. First, I went to Procter & Gamble, where I learned a lot about marketing and management. Then I switched gears and went to Pizza Hut, a division at the time of PepsiCo, where I learned about franchisees and entrepreneurship. Both P&G and Pizza Hut may seem like odd choices, but they served me well. I learned important skills and also learned that sometimes you have to be flexible and take a circuitous path to achieve your eventual goal. Which brings me to my third P, perseverance. In 1983, I moved to the DC area to get my first taste of the digital revolution. I joined a small startup company about to release a product called GameLine. GameLine was a game cartridge that included a modem, and when you plugged it in, you could download games and other services. When it was introduced, everyone thought it would be a huge success, but it wasn't. It failed. I remember shortly after I joined the company, one of the board members looked at the terrible sales figures and said, "Geez, you would have thought they would have shoplifted more than that." As GameLine struggled, most people, including my parents, suggested I put aside my entrepreneurial impulses and my passion and get back on a more normal career path. But I stuck with it, as I believed that someday, somehow, the internet would change the world. I decided to start the company that became AOL when I was 26 years old. At the time, only 3% of people were online, and they were only online an hour a week. AOL had lots of ups and downs in those early years. It took us a decade to attract 1 million subscribers. But then interest in the internet finally exploded, and in the second decade, we added 25 million subscribers, and we became one of the most valuable businesses in the world. What seemed to many like an overnight sensation was in fact more than a decade in the making. Perseverance isn't easy. It means pushing against currents that can be relentless and sometimes exhausting. And it means constantly having to parry away the advice of people who think you should just throw in the towel. So I'd encourage you to keep at it, because some of the best ideas and the most successful companies exist today only because somebody refused to give up. They refused to take no for an answer. As I look back on AOL's rise, I attribute much of its success to the 3 Ps: people, passion, and perseverance. Since leaving AOL more than a decade ago, I've had the opportunity to invest and help build more than a dozen new companies through my firm Revolution, which I started with Georgetown alum and trustee Ted Leonsis. The same 3 Ps have helped guide our efforts with a diverse mix of startups, and I hope they'll help you as you seek to change the world and help usher in the next phase of the internet revolution. In the last 30 years, we witnessed 2 waves of the internet, and the third wave is about to break. The first 15 years was about building the internet. That's where AOL and companies like Cisco came in. The second wave was building on top of the internet. That's Facebook and Twitter, and more recently, Spotify and Snapchat. Now we're entering a third wave, where we're integrating the internet into everyday life, whether it be the Internet of Things or really reimagining and reinventing education and healthcare and transportation and energy. Part of the reason I raise that with you is that the third wave will require more than just the 3 Ps. It will require 2 additional Ps: policy and partnership. Policy will be important because you'll need to understand the evolving laws and regulations that make up the landscape you'll be operating in. And it's worth noting that in a lot of these areas, such as healthcare, government isn't just a regulator, but often the primary customer. You may want to ignore it, but you can't. You'll have to engage. And partnership will be a defining aspect of the third wave. You'll have to be great at establishing alliances. You won't be able to go it alone. You'll have to go together. But I have some good news for you. You're all uniquely positioned for the third wave. Most of you chose Georgetown because you understood that governance and policy matters and that the social sector also matters. And you likely chose to focus your studies here on business because you believe business can be a force for good. So you've got a nice head start. But let me be clear, this third wave won't be easy. It won't just be about building an app, dropping it in the App Store, and hoping to strike gold. The third wave will be harder and take more patience, but it also can be far more rewarding. The point is, take what you've learned not just on this campus, but in the city, and carry it with you as you go forward. Think boldly about what it means to have the opportunity to give back to your country and how to best use your passions to align with that. And while we're on the subject, let me just say a few words about how I think our country can do a better job of serving you in the great adventure you're about to undertake. The United States is envied around the world as the most powerful nation on earth. This didn't happen by accident. It was the work of pioneers who took great risks in the face of great adversity. But the story of America isn't just about the patriots who built the democracy. It's also about the entrepreneurs who built the economy. Through grit, hard work, and unbridled imaginations, entrepreneurs built not just companies, but entire industries. And in doing so, they created the most vibrant, innovative, and entrepreneurial culture anywhere on the planet. And America's momentum continues. In the last 3 decades alone, new startup companies created 40 million jobs, nearly all the net jobs created during that period. But entrepreneurship matters not just because it's a source of job creation and economic growth. Entrepreneurship matters because it has the potential to close the opportunity gap and to genuinely improve the quality of life for everyone, everywhere. The good news is America still has a lead, but we can't rest on our laurels. Other countries have figured out that entrepreneurship is the secret sauce powering our economy, and they're trying to replicate what we've done. In the past half century, we've watched the globalization of manufacturing, and more recently, the globalization of capital, and now we're seeing the globalization of entrepreneurship. So America can't get complacent. We need to stay on offense. We need to stay on the attack. We need to double down on innovation and be sure we lead the third wave. That means all of us and all of you, but it also means the policymakers that can help set the direction of our future. It means making it easier for entrepreneurs to succeed and more attractive for them to want to build something meaningful here. And it means focusing not just on creating wealth, but also creating jobs, and in particular, doing what we can to create good middle-class jobs and ensuring that the American dream is alive and well for all Americans. It means making sure that the best and brightest from all over the world continue to come and study at places like Georgetown, and then get to stay here, feel welcomed here, put down roots here, and build companies and create jobs here. Earlier, I talked about the importance of people. You want smart, dedicated people who are driven and won't take no for an answer? Hire an immigrant. Hire the person who had to work twice as hard to get here and who wants nothing more than to stay here and achieve great things here. It's not a coincidence that 40% of Fortune 500 companies were started by immigrants or children of immigrants. From U.S. Steel to Google to Chobani, the success of immigrant innovators in America shows that fixing our immigration system is not just a problem to solve, but an opportunity to seize. It's how we can unleash the next great wave of American entrepreneurship. And I don't mean just in Silicon Valley. We're entering a new era where cities like Washington, D.C., Detroit, Nashville, Denver, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, and many others are all becoming incubators for innovative startups. We're seeing the rise of the rest as these regions build vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystems that help facilitate the creation of a wide range of startups. Startups that can improve how we live our lives and create jobs and hope and opportunity in regions all across the country. And on that point, I think it's worth taking a step back and remembering that America itself was a startup. 250 years ago, America was just an idea. That idea, powered by people, passion, and perseverance, and by good policy and strong partnerships, led us to forge a strong and stable democracy and enabled us to build the largest and most innovative economy in the world. Our journey as a nation is not over, and your journey is just beginning. The baton is being passed to you. We're all counting on you, the class of 2014, to help us move forward and help us write the next chapter in the story of our startup nation. So congratulations, good luck, and let's go Hoyas.
Thank you, Steve. You are an example, a role model for the kind of leader that we attempt to develop here at the McDonough School of Business. Principled, global in focus, and committed to serving business and society. Now, before we begin the presentation of degrees to the candidates, I'd just like to pause for a moment and ask all of the faculties here on the stage with me to rise. Thank you for recognizing them, because if we have been at all successful in delivering on our promise to you of a transformational educational experience in your 4 years, it is because of the faculty and staff present with me here on this stage. And they, I assure you, wake up many a day thinking about how can they enrich the experience of the students in their classrooms, the students who flow through the Honorary building, and provide the kind of education that will mold you into the kind of leaders that we hope you will be. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you give them a round of applause before we proceed. Thank you. We will now proceed to the presentation of candidates for the degree. The graduates will come forward to receive their diplomas. Please hold your applause until all graduates have received their diplomas. Did you hear that? That's a challenge. The top 10% of this class has been inducted into Beta Gamma Sigma, the National Scholastic Honor Society in the field of business administration. 81 students have attained a cumulative GPA of at least 3.5 during their 4 years of undergraduate study and will graduate cum laude. 35 students with a GPA of at least 3.7 will graduate magna cum laude. and 12 students have attained a GPA of at least 3.9 during their 4 years of undergraduate study and will receive their degrees summa cum laude. It is now my honor to introduce Senior Associate Dean and Director of Undergraduate Programs, Dr. Norianne Sharp, who will announce the graduates. Will Professors Doran, Mayor Summer, Scuba, and Walker come forward to hood the graduates? Now, I should advise the audience that we have a couple of faculty on the stage who also have graduates in the audience. So if you happen to see an emotional breakdown, do not become concerned. Okay, let us begin the process of awarding the degrees.
As Senior Associate Dean, I am proud to call forth the following graduates. Michael John Lee, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Carly Marie Silverwood, summa cum laude, salutatorian. John Christopher Faz Abakar, cum laude. Sami Abdusoban. Christ Abakaram. Philippe Adam, cum laude. Agosa Agariye. Catherine Jeanette Alberti. Lena Almarzug, summa cum laude. Robert Stephen Anderson II, cum laude. Alexandria Marie Antila. Michael Jacob Appeloff, magna cum laude. Christina Stafford Eraskog, cum laude. Stephen Dennis Atwater, Jr. Darius Carrigan Babel, cum laude. Thank you. Alexander Wolf Baker. William Preston Barclay, cum laude. John F. Bauke, magna cum laude. Mark Andrew Byerly, cum laude. Mark Anthony Berardi. Anthony Michael Blake. Ranajoy Bose. Edwin John Bradley III. Caitlin Taylor Bren, cum laude. William Patrick Brennan. Zakia LeJohn Brown. Nikita Lynn Bewley, cum laude. Patrick Myrick Burke. Theodore Curran Burke, cum laude. James Paul Burr, Jr. Christian Edward Otto Bush. Thierry Wying Kammerlink. Catherine Campbell, cum laude. Sean Thomas Campbell. Patrick Pierce Camperini. John Joseph Caprio II. William Patrick Carroll. Keegan D. Carter. Araceli Castillo. Alex Jeffrey Celona. Ryan Chan. Michelle Chianyun Chang, magna cum laude. Chi Thomas Che. Alan Poyu Chen, magna cum laude. Sarah Joanne Childs. Eunice J. Chin. Philip J. Ho Cho, cum laude. Michelle Joyce Chung, magna cum laude. James Andrew Church, summa cum laude. Hans Thomas Clausens, cum laude. Austin Scott Cleary, cum laude. Molly James Concannon. Kelly Ann Connolly. Caroline Ann Connolly. Ryan David Cunningham, cum laude. Felipe Alejandro de la Guardia. Maria de Lera Fernandez, cum laude. Andy Elizabeth de Bellis. Nicholas DeClow. Rebecca Rawls Deloach, magna cum laude. Raymond Michael De Lorenzo. Danielle Core Dillon, cum laude. Stacy Lynn Dillahay. Taylor Niall Doty. Kevin Shea Donlin. Teresa Elizabeth Durante, cum laude. Luisa Eguren, cum laude. Felipe Andres Ernst. Brandon Liam Everett. Ryan Keith Fan. Kai Fang, cum laude. Ashley Farron, magna cum laude. Mary Margaret Feeney, cum laude. Jack Findaro. Dominique Anthony Fiorentino, cum laude. Grant Gibbs Fisher. Colleen Ann Fitzgerald. Evan Alexander Floyd. Shannon Stewart Foley. William Grant Franco. Hannah Simpson Franklin. Kellen Brett Friedman. Max Andrew Friedman. Allison French Fullenwider, magna cum laude. Stephen M. Fiuschetti, summa cum laude. Alexa Carmen Gasparino. Catherine Sharon Gatobu, magna cum laude. Jonathan Prescott Gavron. Emma Nikki Gerstein, magna cum laude. Brendan P. Glavin. Nina S. Gokhale, magna cum laude. Caitlin Mary Goodson. Maxwell Avram Graff, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Green, cum laude. Abigail Green, cum laude. Daniel Joseph Greenspan. Ellen Lydia Grine. Joan Marie Grubb, summa cum laude. Kevin William Hack, cum laude. Tristan Carson Hager. Jake Peter Haley. Wissam Daniel Hamady. Ryan Christopher Hanley. Tyler Martin Harris, cum laude. Chance Avery Harvey. Bryn Curran Hastings, cum laude. Olive Myrtle Hay. Edward Lee Helfrich. Sarah Christine Henderson. William Conrad Henderson, cum laude. Jocelyn Hernandez. Matthew Siegel Hickey. Megan Kane Holleran. Stephanie Jacqueline Holm, cum laude. Brandon Sue, magna cum laude. David Hu, magna cum laude. Mark Chaplin Hu, cum laude. Jenny Wong, magna cum laude. Eric Isdaner, cum laude. Connor Edwin Jackson. Bibiana Jakobianska. Julianne M. Jefferson. Carlos Jimenez Carrasquillo, cum laude. Jessica Nanny Johns. Stephanie Helen Johns, magna cum laude. Gregory Scott Hosen. Artur Yodik, cum laude. Michelle Kalin, cum laude. Elizabeth Malloy Kane. Julia Marie Caris, cum laude. Christopher Patrick Kenny. Zohaib Khalid. Vidar Khatri. James Kim, magna cum laude. Janet Yuki Young Kim, cum laude. Lauren Kim, cum laude. Brian H. King, cum laude. Robert A. Kober, summa cum laude. Kimberly Nicole Koff, cum laude. Alexander D. Kansioka, cum laude. Ung Mo Ku, cum laude. Vincent Victor Korth, magna cum laude. Akriti Kumar. Ambika Kumar, cum laude. Thomas William Ladd, Jr. Rachel Lau, cum laude. Rose Victoria Laricella. Francis Acacia Lau. Michael Yogi Lane. Richard Michael Lee, magna cum laude. Stephanie Lee. Lorena Maria Lenth. Michael Charles Lindsay Bailey, magna cum laude. Sijia Liu. Paula Loera Diaz. Daniel Harry Lorfink, cum laude.
Thank you so much.
Nathaniel Lawrence Lubick. Allison Sean McNeil, cum laude. Mark Kevin Mackey, cum laude. Alana Jacqueline Magley, magna cum laude. Kirill Petrovich Makarenko. Ramil Mukesh Malkan. Daniel John Mangan. Edward Charles Mark. Evan James Marks, cum laude. Osvaldo Martinez. Michael Sean Matuzzi, summa cum laude. Edward John McCrossin, Jr. Caroline Mary McDevitt, cum laude. Lauren Margaret McDonald, summa cum laude. Nicholas S. McGuire. Mark Joseph McKenna, Jr., magna cum laude. Michaela Marie Medeiros, cum laude. Kristen Virginia Mercuro, cum laude. Stephanie Ann Messenger, magna cum laude. Ileana Tazia Michaels. Caitlin Gianna Miller. Michael Frank Moisan. Luis Annabel Montez Montoya. Jeremy Jason Moore. Merit Catherine Moran. Audrey Pamela Morris. Maxwell Harriman Mortimer. Raul Alberto Mota. Jasmine Nicole Moten. Ashley Christina Murdoch. Allison Marie Murrin, cum laude. James Charles Mertitas. Tien Shin Annie Now. Joseph Michael Nardi IV. Luke David Navarro. Karin Nair, magna cum laude. Charmaine Kaylee Ng, cum laude. William Dirk Nicholas Jr. Devin James Nigro. Benjamin Wayne Omer, cum laude. John Anthony Orlando. Nan O, magna cum laude. Calliope Penteladius. Daria Perkomenko, cum laude. Kendall Peterson, magna cum laude. William Kenneth Pierce, magna cum laude. Robert Rachmiel Polek, cum laude. Darshana Prakasam, summa cum laude. Kevin Thomas Pryor, cum laude. Jacqueline Noel Proctor. Bridget Burke Paleo. Kevin Patrick Rafferty. James A. Raffini. Akhil Ramanadam, cum laude. Herman Ramirez de Arellano Vargas. Eric Anthony Ramos. Mia Alexandra Christiana Reardon. Margaret Archer Riley, cum laude. Elizabeth Diane Robbins, cum laude. Philip James Rogers. Jacob Lee Michael Rosen. William George Roth. Scott Patrick Rusterholtz. Brian Thomas Saba. Carlos Salgado. Stephanie Ann Schmidt, magna cum laude. Caroline Schulte, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Marie Sellers. Dhruv Sharma. Alexandra Marie Sharp, cum laude. Peter McClune Sharp, Jr. Andrew Michael Sherris, cum laude. Cecilia M. Shee. Philip Bradley Sidoti, magna cum laude. Brianna A. Smith. Gregory Michael Smith, magna cum laude. Brian Gregory Soffer, cum laude. Rachel M. Sohn, cum laude. Mary McConnell Sonnenberg, cum laude. Sebastian Sotelo.
Yes, Sebastian!
James Oscar Spaley. Daniel Joseph Sprati. Alden Richard Stab. Catherine Ann McVeigh Stanton. Jonathan Michael Steffi, cum laude. Madeline Zoe Steinberg. Daniel Alexander Sullivan, magna cum laude. John Jerome Sullivan, cum laude. Thomas Joseph Sullivan. Madhukar Sori, cum laude. Genevieve Ann Svek, magna cum laude. Brian Douglas Reed Sykes, cum laude. Jay Tabanyag, cum laude. Philip Tam. Laurent Frederic Xavier Tarno. Alexander Wallace Tesarero. Andrew Alexander Teodotu, summa cum laude. Elias Nicholas Chilakis. Yasmin Marie Thomas. Alex Brian Thompson, cum laude. Jason Lewis Thompson. Veronica Tovia, cum laude. John Alexander Tribish, magna cum laude. Joshua Joseph Tucci. Brian P. Turner, cum laude. Emma Audrey Ulrich. Nicholas Christopher Van Hollen. Francisco Jose Velez Moeller, magna cum laude. Eric A. Vorsheimer, cum laude. Fred G. Wallenberg. Stephanie Ann Waller. Spencer James Somi Walsh, cum laude. Vicky Ziju Wang. Stephen Harper Walthen, cum laude. Jordan Alyssa Watson. Michael Anthony Watson, Jr. Mulin Assange Werakun. Ryan Patrick Whalen. Alexandra Anicia Williams. Caroline N. Williams. Paris C. Williams. Patrick Henry Wilson, cum laude. Patrick Reeve Wolpert, cum laude. Annie Yan. Bonnie Yan. Jennifer Yan. Amy Yang, cum laude. Douglas Andrew Yaz. Jacqueline Yip, cum laude. Nicole Yuxul. Pamela Zadan Hawa, summa cum laude. Kelsey Nicole Zentbauer. Zachary Cardin Zimmerman. Dean Thomas and President DeGioia, it is my honor to present the aforementioned candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration.
Will the candidates please rise? President DeGioia, these candidates have been duly examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Directors. I therefore ask that you bestow on them the degree in course.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon these candidates the degree a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and please be seated. Class of 2014, I cannot express how proud I am to be here with you in this moment. I also could not overstate the anxiety that I have had since 5:30 this morning. The challenge of a 6 o'clock graduation ceremony is that I wake up at 5:30 and I am anxious until this moment about what to say to a group that has so distinguished themselves to bring themselves to this moment. So I know that my attempt will fall short of my hopes, but I shall try. And the first question is, who have you been here at the McDonough School of Business in these 4 years? And as I talked to some of your advisors and to Dean Sharp, the theme that emerged is that you have been part of many firsts for our undergraduate program. As freshmen, you were the first class to have the opportunity to participate in our popular first-year seminar in international business, public policy, and society. As sophomores, you were the first class given the choice to study social entrepreneurship in Barcelona or global strategic management in Shanghai. As juniors, you were the first class to participate in the Summer Research Fellowship Program and in the Social Internship Program in Nicaragua. And as seniors, you were the first class to complete 4 full years of Bagels with the Dean. Aside from enjoying a weekly fellowship breakfast together, you had the opportunity to share your thoughts with the undergraduate program and seek feedback from them on many topics. Now, just a caveat, for those parents who are wondering or worried that their tuition dollars went for the thousands of bagels that these individuals consumed, I'm happy to say that it was a dedicated alumnus who provided the funds for Bagels with the Dean, as he saw it as an opportunity to create a dialogue among students and administrators. And it did. And it has become one of the most popular traditions in the undergraduate program. Our students in the McDonough School of Business have also shown their generosity, because we notice that they bring their colleagues from many other parts of the university to participate. Again, showing their willingness to give back. Okay, back to the graduates. You're also a globally minded group. 60% of you had a global experience during your time at Georgetown, and together you represent 25 countries. Finally, as I celebrate you today, I know that you are prepared to enter the business world. In addition to your academic and extracurricular achievements on the hilltop, more than 80% of you held an internship while at Georgetown. Now becomes the difficult part of speaking to you this evening. There are many things that I could say, and as I pondered my comments this evening, I thought that I would let you in on a secret. Now, graduates, I want you to do me a favor. I I want you to think about a course that you took here that had you intently engaged, where you came and every day you listened to what the professor was saying. And I want you to establish that posture and lean in for a moment, because I'm going to tell you a secret. The secret is that you came here when you finished high school because you thought you finished high school and you did well in high school, you're gonna go and spend 4 years and get a college degree, just like millions of other people who graduated the same year you did. That's what you came here for. And the secret is that that is not what we have been doing here with you. Now, don't get worried. You will get a degree. But you have been engaged in a process that, if you listen carefully to the words, if you've heard Jack DeGioia speak over these last 4 years, or other people who understand or deeply connected to the tradition of education here, you hear a word called formation. This is not simply a period for you to come and get a degree. This is a period of formation that, for the history of education in the Jesuit tradition, has been thought about in very deliberate terms. That what we are doing in these 4 years is forming, not simply certifying individuals. And at the McDonough School of Business, we believe that if we've been successful, that formation has led you to be, or to have the seeds to become, principled leaders with a global mindset to be in service to business and society. It is our way of connecting to the Jesuit values of men and women for others, which is about service. It is our way of connecting to the Jesuit tradition of going out and meeting the world where it is and connecting and figuring out how we can make a difference. And now, you will leave here and you will go out into the world and you will pursue your individual lives. And our hope is that because of this period of formation that you have been in, somewhere in you will be questions that you will ask at each turn, at each critical choice. How can I serve? How can I be a man or a woman for others? That you will never feel self-conscious about the fact that you may have more. You may be better off. But the theme of the Jesuit tradition is magis, the more. But it means asking for more so that you can do more for others. Not to be uncomfortable or self-conscious about the fact you have more, but having more so that you can do more for others. Each of you will have to ask yourselves in your unique way, what does that mean for me? Now, when I think about this, there's always this moment where you worry as a dean that you're sort of being Pollyannish. I had a moment last night that gave me an example of how formation has happened here on this campus already for you, for members of your class. So I was sitting next to a young person in your class at a dinner last night for our professors who received for our speakers who received honorary degrees. And she said to me, I won't call her name, but she said to me, well, I was part of creating Lemonade Day. I said, Lemonade Day? What is that? But what she described was that a number of students from the McDonough School of Business went to a part of Washington, D.C., in the Logan District, and created a program to teach students there financial literacy and to teach them what it meant to build businesses. And they had them create lemonade stands so that they could understand building a business and all the things that go into it. And from that, they came out and they understood finances. They understood how the system of capitalism worked. And what did that say to me? That said to me that, at the McDonough School of Business, our students already understand how to ask the question, how do we take what is uniquely ours, which is this business acumen that you've acquired here, and use it to serve others? Some of you are going to go to Wall Street. Some of you are going to go to Teach for America. Some of you are going to go into manufacturing. It doesn't matter where you go. The process of formation here has been about having you continually ask the question, how do I become a man or woman of service? A man or woman for others? How do I answer the question, what will I do with the fact that just by virtue of sitting in these seats right now, you will have more than 99% of the people on this planet, the Majas, to have more so that we can do more for the world. And here at the McDonough School of Business, I've often said that, I sometimes spend time praying and meditating about what we are doing here at this school. And a mantra comes to me often. And it is the idea that we are transforming ourselves so that we can transform the world. And it is a continuous process. So while we will celebrate today, and we will celebrate this evening, and we will celebrate with our loved ones who surround us, I just want you to know that the secret is that you were not here simply to leave with a certification or a degree, but you were here in a process of formation that began in 1789 with the creation of this university and continues today. And that as those equipped with an understanding of business and markets and capitalism, I believe that it is even more incumbent upon us to manifest those values in the way that we lead our lives, because it is overdetermined that you will shape the lives of others. And I apologize if I didn't end on the cheery note that one loves when a dean gives a speech and he tells the students how great they are, and you are. But I just want to connect you with why we are all here. And I hope that in this process of formation, we have not failed you. And history will show us that we haven't. And finally, on a lighter note, a personal note, I hope that in the years to come, you will all continue to follow me on Twitter at Prof. Thomas. And when you follow me, and I know you all have been, but if you follow me, you'll notice that every now and then I tweet out a tweet that I've tweeted before. And the tweet is, be the difference. And it comes to me when I see someone in the world who's making a difference, and it also comes to me when I see moments where someone is missing the opportunity to be the difference. And I hope that you will tweet back at Prof. Thomas, I am being the difference. Thank you. Now, before I bid the graduates what I hope is only a temporary goodbye, I'd also like to recognize the parents, relatives, and friends of the graduates who have provided their students and the school with such a valuable support in so many ways. You are as much a part of the Georgetown family as your sons and daughters. We honor and thank you. Graduates, please stand. Turn and face your loved ones and give them a round of applause and thanks. Please be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the president of Georgetown University, Dr. John J. DeGioia.
Thank you very much, Dean Thomas. I'm grateful to you for your exceptional leadership of our McDonough School of Business. And I wish to thank also all of our deans, faculty, and staff whose work and contributions have helped to bring us together today. Our special gratitude to Steve Case for making this already very special day that much more special by sharing the perspectives and insights he's gained through his life's work. And finally, to our students, congratulations. It's a very special day, and it's a privilege for all of us to be able to share this day with you. It's a privilege to be here, to have this opportunity to celebrate you and your accomplishments, to thank you for your many contributions to our community on the journey that you've taken with us over these past 4 years. All of your hard work, all of your triumphs, all of your challenges, everything that you've done at Georgetown has brought you to this moment, to this day. I hope that over your time here, that you've come to better know yourself and what matters most to you, that you've come to better understand how you connect to others and to our world, that you've come to discern the truest parts, the deepest parts of your identity, the person that you are and the person that you hope to be. While much of your journey has been uniquely personal, you've made this journey here, together, alongside one another. You came to us from different areas of the country, from countries throughout our world. You came to us with singular talents, individual perspectives, unique backgrounds. You came to us seeking to learn and to expand your horizons. And you came here to Georgetown, a place where people, ideas, and values converge. In many ways, this is the very nature of a university, this bringing together, this convergence. Yet at Georgetown, we have a particular approach to this work, an approach informed by our Catholic and Jesuit tradition, which has animated our community since our earliest days, now 225 years ago. Ours is a tradition that propels us out into the world to engage with and to learn from others. Ours is a tradition that asks us always to bring out the best in one another. And in doing so, we will bring out the best in ourselves. It compels us to seek to make an impact within our world by working together, collaborating, and partnering in the pursuit of making this world a more just place. Writing in the mid-part of the last century, Father Teilhard de Chardin, a Jesuit, a philosopher, a scientist, explored this dimension of our tradition seeking to understand the power of connection and the necessity of coming together. Such convergence of people, ideas, and experiences was essential, he believed, for humankind to continue on its path of progress and evolution toward ever greater consciousness and being. To make this point, he tells the story of two distinct individuals, two with different worldviews, different backgrounds, who each, in their own individual ways, are seeking to address the challenges facing society. And although they begin in different places, their commitment to justice, to living their values, to making an impact in the world, ultimately leads them to the same place. Because, as Father Desjardins helps us to understand, quote, everything that rises must converge. Everything that moves humankind forward, be it toward greater good, greater justice, greater consciousness, converges, comes together, unites in us all, despite our different starting points. To achieve this convergence, Father Desjardins offered the following advice. Remain true to yourself, but move ever upward toward greater consciousness and greater love. At the summit, you will find yourself united with all those who from every direction have made the same ascent. It is through a shared and noble pursuit that, despite beginning in different places and bringing to bear different beliefs and ideas to your work, that you will find harmony and connection and a greater depth of impact in our world. In seeking the very best in one another, you will arrive at a place where your individual distinctiveness, your unique backgrounds, your singular perspectives will converge, like they have today, right here at this summit. This moment, your commencement, is a moment of convergence, a moment to experience together your connectedness to one another and to reflect on the ways in which you've grown in your formation, on your journey here on this hilltop. And as you leave Georgetown, it is our hope that you will continue to live your lives in ways that seek to bring out the best in each other, to bring out the best in those with whom you will live and work, and that in these moments of convergence, you'll be reminded of your time here, of your years together in this community, on this hilltop. This is a very special day. We could not be more proud of you, and we are honored to share in this moment with you. Congratulations.
Thank you, President DeGioia. Thank you all for joining us today, and congratulations to our graduates once more. We wish you well in all your endeavors and welcome you as members of the Georgetown alumni family. Please stand for the alma mater, which will again be led by members of the Georgetown Concert Choir and Chamber Singers. The alma mater is located in the back of the commencement program book. Remain standing while Imam Yahya Hindi, Director of the Muslim Chaplaincy, offers the benediction.
Washing by the water, smiles on I know I'm the only one holding you from hugs and kisses, so I'll try to make it short. But before I pray, I want to say that at Georgetown, we believe that nothing is impossible. You are about to witness an imam starting his prayer in Hebrew in a Catholic university. Go and wonder. Let us pray. Baruch Hashem Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Blessed is the name of God, the Lord of the universe. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. O Creator of all things, known by many names, who has spoken to all people in all times through an abundance of prophets, dominated by no one race or land. This day we celebrate the accomplishments of the students of McDonough School of Business, who received their degrees and now leave their comfortable nest to move on to new chapters in their lives. We pray that you purify their intentions and grant them a strength to use the skills they have acquired here with confidence, but without arrogance, with both serious determination and with moral demand upon themselves, but without judging others, and with both rigorous intellect and loving hearts. As they confront the difficult and often divisive challenges of state and society, let them remain ever faithful to justice and the truth. God, today is like any other. The sun rises, the winds blow, rain falls, rain does not fall. People are born, they laugh, they cry, they dance, they die. Today is like any other. Yet today is also fresh and new, and like no other day. Today is a new moment of opportunity that has come. Today is a passage from one episode to another. Give us all the firm faith and the unwavering hope we need. Give us the perfect charity and deep understanding we need. Help us sleep in the clouds, dream in the skies. Guide us to keep dreaming as life passes us by. Help our graduates close their eyes and spread their wings. Make a wish and dream good dreams. Empower them to never say, you'll never tell. Even when life is short and very frail, they may always be still and take a look and continue to dream, because their thoughts are so big to let go. Loving God, we recognize these diplomas are both a reward for hard work and a burden of responsibility. So guide our graduates to know that they may become teachers, but all wisdom comes from you. They may become lawyers, but you are the ultimate law. They may become physicians, but it is you who heals. That though the market value will determine their salaries, you determine the value of their lives. And in doing so, God, grant them the courage of the strong, the endurance of the marathon runners, the hope of the young, the wisdom of the aged, and a faith that does not shrink when challenged, so that they may turn to each other, not on each other, and may become agents of peace and justice unto the world. We seek all of that in your holy name, and united, let us all say, amen.
Will the guests please remain standing at their places until the faculty and graduates have recessed? You are all invited to join us for a reception in the Rafiq B. Hariri Building, the home of the McDonough School of Business, adjacent to the Levy Center. The ushers will direct you to the reception. The 2014 Bachelor of Science in Business Administration commencement exercises at the McDonough School of Business are now officially closed.